Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shine and sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, the show where people come from around the world to talk about radio. It's the first day of summer, June 21st, 2022. From around the world, welcome back to the show.
In the summertime, when the weather is high, you can stretch right up and touch the sky. When the weather's fine, you got women on your mind. Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find.
For the first day of summer, little Mungo Jerry.
If a daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If a daddy's poor, just do what you feel. Speed along the lane, you can turn or a turn of 25.
On this show, we're going to have some general exam questions to help you take that second license class here in the States. Plus, an amazing goal was reached by yours truly. Yeah, it happened last night. We'll talk about that. And we'll take a look at your comments worldwide, wherever you may be around the world. Thanks for coming to the show today. Away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Shack in Oregon. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to the Shack. It's so good to see you guys. Sorry we're very, very late today. Had a great group of people here. The president of the Portland Amateur Radio Club here in Oregon. Portland was well represented. Also, and that guy's so smart, Pete. Man, Pete, big ups. Thank you for coming. Really. Wow. Also, we had I had a couple of folks from the Dallas, Oregon Amateur Radio Club come as well, and they were so helpful. So for Bob and for John, thank you guys for what you did. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. We'll get that in a little moment. Whole reason why we come is to help you get your amateur radio license. That's really why we do these shows. Contact someone big. This is how I got my license. Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Hit that contact us bar. Let them know you want to get your ham radio license and where you live. They'll send you an email back with a local to you amateur radio club. www.arrl.org. If you're here from the CQ Calling Show on WRMI, powered by ICOM, we welcome you. Thanks for coming. Also, we have a good show email for you to join us if you'd like to. CQ@hamradiolive@gmail.com is a good way to reach out to me. I answer questions as fast as I can, so I hope you join us on the email if you have a question, a show suggestion. We even get song requests, right? So go ahead and just join us that way if you'd like. Or you can join us live, usually after the show, or anytime on Discord. Got a great Discord page. We'll go over that today during the show. I want to welcome you to the show from around the world, and we'll get to you first, second, and thirds here in just a second. We have a topic question for today's show, and this is it. How long would you try to work a DX station? How long would you go for it? Okay? Let us know in the comment section, and also let us know if you made the call or not. We'll make it part of today's show. The weather today is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Look at this A1A. It's getting pretty good. Yep. Even though, to be fair, our SFIs are going down, but there is some good relief coming from the very southeast corner of the sun. You can see those sunspots starting to come around there on the lower side, right about 8 o'clock on this view of the A1A. Backside view, there's a great view of it right there in the big red square. That's what we're talking about. So watch for some sunspots coming from the east limb here this week. Coronal hole map, yep, there's 3 of them, and they are earth-faced, so we have a slight component from these today, but still decent conditions, really do. Here's a magnetometer view of the sun. Beautiful view of it. Gives you a good idea of how big the sunspots are. 3038, which is dead center towards a little bit towards the upper quadrant, just off the equator there, is growing, and that's what's helping us to maintain our SFIs. Last 3 days of solar detection. Now there are 5 sunspot regions, but we've had some activity, and that's what we've been waiting for. Solar indices today for the very first day of summer in the northern hemisphere. Yep, finally came. That's great. SFI 137, it's down 7 from yesterday. Sunspot number 124, that's up 4. That's because of 3038 and how it's growing. That's why the sunspot number went up. It's not actually a sunspot number, meaning you count all these sunspots and come up with a number. No, it's actually a formula based on sunspots and the total amount of activity that comes from those sunspots. That's how it works. So your area number is also up to 830. That's good. K indexes is your noise floor, your KP index. Quiet. This is good conditions, K2. So we're kind of getting these quiet conditions for tonight that'll help you work your radio. And boy, I've got a story for you. Yes, I do. 3-day geomagnetic forecast for the KP index. We should have quiet conditions today, tomorrow, and maybe some rising conditions on the 23rd. So we'll see how things go by Thursday. Hopefully, we keep things quiet. Remember, K2 is quiet. K3 starts to get into a little bit of noise. So that's the way it goes. Your conditions out of Boulder today. Here are the numbers. SFI 137, solar number is 112. A index a little high at 10, all right? K index is 1. Now, that's very quiet. Look at this signal noise level, S0 to S1 tonight. So great conditions for 40, 80, 160, 30, and 60 as well. Good conditions for you. 6 and 4 meter east skips open because it's summertime. BZ latitude negative 0.7. And that solar window is down to 496.6 kilometers per second. Your Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map, this is current. We'll start in North America, 17 megahertz in Fairbanks, 18 in Anchorage, 21 Los Angeles, 19 right about the U.S.-Canadian border, 18 megahertz up in Canada right now, heading towards Florida, 21 megahertz. So not a big swath of 10 meters. In fact, that's kind of shrunk a little bit. The guys at the Dallas Amateur Radio Club that came over earlier today were really talking about how 10 has just been so dead. It'll come back. It's just we've got to get those conditions going, and we'll get it. And oh my gosh, right in the middle of the weather station, the weather part of the show, they're doing it already. Oh my gosh, we've got to activate the doggone woofing filter again. I've talked to them about it before the show, but they still want to do it. So, sorry about that. Here we go. Woofing filter now activated.
Some bitch. Don't you cuss on this here radio. I apologize to all the friendly folk who are listening.
There you go. It's making lemonade out of lemons, folks. All right, South America. Look at South America. They've been in the 10 meter band forever, but look now, not so much. 25 North Brazil, 21 as you head toward Rio, and then down towards Uruguay, 21, down towards, Argentina, 21 as well. If you get to the West Coast, you're right about 26, but not those big numbers like we've been seeing. That's really in the South Pacific Ocean. Take a look at that. Heading towards Europe, 22 now, Great Britain, 22 as well in France, 23 Germany, 29 Sicily, 21 if you're just at the far eastern edge in Romania. Down in Africa, good conditions for you folks if you're right dead center of the continent. So if you happen to be in the Congo or Tanzania or possibly Congo, you've got good conditions. If you head south, you're going to be a little bit quieter. So people like Winan in Namibia, you're going to be on right about 21 megahertz right now. Cape Town, though, down to 8. So that's 8 megahertz out of Cape Town. Far East, 19 in Tokyo. 26 coming really low. See how 26 is coming in the South Pacific below, toward kind of heading north of the Philippines. And 10 meters is just piling in there to the North Island of New Zealand and heading towards Australia again. 21 megahertz already on the Gold Coast of Australia. And let's get in that forecast today. Your forecast today is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Longest sunlight days in the Northern Hemisphere is here today. This is the longest day of sunlight. So go out and enjoy it. SFI is to be stable in the 140s or so through Tuesday. And again, that's within about 5 or 10 either way. Noise floor should stay quiet as well. No, voice bands 20, 17, 15, 12, and possible 10 later in the day in the Northern Hemisphere. Equatorial latitudes, you should have everything 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. The South, depending upon where you're at, you should get 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. However, it's not everywhere. South America right now is missing 10 meters. And there's been some great DX from South America lately. Really. Great nighttime conditions through tomorrow night. Nighttime ham band openings are 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30. Your best DX, MUF at sunset. Then work lower bands till you could reach 40 and 80. Here's the deal, though. 20 meters will work you almost all night long right now. Seriously, it will. And I have proof of that. We'll talk about that a little bit in the show here. Shortwave bands today, 31, 25, 22, and 19. Nighttime shortwave, folks, 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 100% chance of the 19-meter band about 4 hours after sunset, and those signals will simply fade away. Yes. Welcome to the show. Oh, it's good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. Let's find out now who the heck got here first, second, and third.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
First up from the UK, Steve, 2 Echo 0 X-Ray Sierra Hotel. Give that man a beep beep.
Meep, meep.
Congratulations, mate. You did it. Well done, Steve. Congrats, man. How are you doing this evening? You doing good, Steve? Hope things are well. Got an interesting story about one of your countrymen we're going to talk about today during the show. Steve, thanks for coming. Second one in from Boston, WECB 640. Hola, hola to you too, sir. Thank you for coming to the show. It's always nice to see you.
Thank you.
Yep. Third one in from the UK, Andy New, and I know it's late for both you and Steve. Sorry the show was so late. Really? I'm sorry. It was been one of those days. Andy's call sign, Mike 7 Charlie Union November, and he's studying to try and be an intermediate. He's going to pass that. Remember, Andrew, August 1st. All right. August 1st is the day. Will Myers, who has his hex beam up and running. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike, welcome to the show. Always good to see you. He says, not first, probably, but I'm here, and I'm grateful you are. Sandy, welcome back. Kilo 04, Oscar. Always a pleasure to have you, Sandy. Thanks. And Steve, this is a nice comment. What a great group of people coming to help you get your antenna up. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. We really are. I have some big, mad respect for these people who came today. Jeremy, Kilo 7, Victor, Foxtrot, Oscar, Albany, Oregon's here. Hi, Jeremy. Good afternoon, buddy. Nice warm weather, finally. William is back from Jacksonville, Florida. Yay! November 5, Echo, Victor. William, it's great to have you. Man, I've missed you so much. It's great to have you join us from North Florida. Thanks, buddy. Andy Brunson, Mike 7, X-Ray, Tango, welcome. Jenna is here from Georgia. Welcome to Jen as well. Yep. November 4, Juliet Echo Hotel. She says, whoop, summer is here. What a great time to be back to Ham Radio Live. Bless your heart. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. And she says, I'm late by 3 minutes, but look, you almost made it. You did good. And she says, her sister Avery says hello. Our best to Avery as well, all right? All right. Rob Q, Los Angeles, California is here. Hi, Rob, as well as Rob 2. Rob Q and Rob 2. This is Rob from Tucson, November 7, Tango Alpha. Welcome. And Jeff is here, Eastern Tennessee, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta. DiBiase, 777, that's Kilo Charlie 1, Papa Sierra, Kilo Todd, all the way from Connecticut. Welcome. Good to have you back, buddy. Gosh, what a good group. Whiskey 6, Juliet, India, Mike. Good to have you, my friend. Walnut Creek, California, represented. Good to see you, Jim. Happy first day of summer, mate. We've made it. Man, oh, man. And William, right away, he's like, bam, on the topic question show. And today's topic question, how long would you work to work a DX station? And that could be shortwave. It could be ham, right? Could be CB. Think about that. William says, to answer your question, in one sitting, it took me an hour to work a station in Greenland. It took me months to work a station in Fiji, but you did it. Well done. That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. That's the best part. Rodney in Holland. Hey. I stayed awake for my friends. Thank you for being a very good friend as well.
Thank you.
Good job, Rodney. Thank you, buddy. Sandy says, I worked for about 5 minutes, but I go back to it several times, see if band opened up. That's a good way to do it. That's a very good way to do it. Dirk is here, Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee. A pleasure to have you. I know it'll be a good show today. My brother Bob, courtesy of WIFI. Thank you for coming as well. Jeff had to go to see the vampires today. No! Not a fun day, man. That's not what you want to do for sure. Daniel's here, New Hampshire. Welcome, Daniel. Good to have you as well. Thanks for coming. John Deere, my mate from Monmouth, Oregon, is here. Welcome back. Good to see you, John. Thank you. Thank you, John. Yeah, I mean that. Wicked Loud One, welcome. It's good to have you part of the show as well. And let me see. Andy New, call me Andy for heaven's sake. Ham Radio Live. Okay, Andy, for heaven's sake, welcome to the show. Don't give me those kind of rules. Jeff, November 4, Pop Oscar Delta. Well, I tried to tell the nurse to pull it from my hand, but she admittedly got cocky and was certain she could hit the vein. She didn't. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Ham Shack, WX5, Foxtrot Whiskey Tango. Hey, friend, I got 2 towers and a roll of 7/8 heliacs. I'm so excited. I bet you are. Oh, my gosh. I'm just trying to get one antenna up. That's it. but we'll get there. When it's time, it's going to be there, and I know that. But probably a change in plans for us. We'll go that in this just a little second. Jerry Jones, welcome. Kilo 4 Papa Zulu, good to have you as well. And I think we got Jeff's got more to his story here. Second stick, she did my hand, and voila, she got her vitals filled.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. Spike is back from Montana, safe from the floods. Thanks for coming, Spike. Always a great show when you're here. All right, folks, I do want to give some real love to some people who came to the shack today. They came to my home to make a determination as to if the urban beam on the W8IO rooftop tower would work, right? Well, a couple of folks weren't quite so sure about that. They thought, well, I just don't know. It's pretty high. There's a lot of, stuff that has to be, reinforced. It's kind of a long story, but to be honest, it was really kind of tough. They weren't sure about stuff. So here they are together, and this is right there at the top. That man on the ladder is Pete. He's the president of the Portland Amateur Radio Club. He came here because Winan from the channel in Africa asked him to. No kidding. That's no lie. Winan in Namibia contacted the Portland Amateur Radio Club to see if he could get us some help. That was absolutely unbelievable. So that's Bob. That's the closest person here. There is John hiding behind the Tubbo stuff. Now, here is Bob, president of the Dallas Amateur Radio Club. Good friend. Bob, you're a dear man. I think the world of this guy. I really do. He's big to me. He really is. And gave me a good idea to think about. And here's the four of us, and we're kind of considering this tower and how this antenna can go up. And how we kind of came to a decision was there's really two ways to do it. We could put up the W8IO antenna up on the roof. It would require 8 holes being drilled in the roof, plus some backing boards behind the plywood, which will help to reinforce the beam and the stress put on the beam based on wind load. But that's 8 holes in your roof, and our roof is 18 years old. So I just am not comfortable with that. So probably going to be going with an extendable, not really extendable, it's more of a fold-over tilt 30-foot mast, aluminum mast, to be able to have the urban beam on up. And those 3 guys spent well over an hour and a half at the house helping me. And my love to them, again, Pete is the one in the green sitting down with the notepad. He was brilliant. He completely drew from scratch this beautiful drawing of our rafter system up in our attic and how things will go and where the HVAC stuff was and how he could put the bolts and the backing boards in. The guy's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then the farthest person on the couch here is John, and then that is Bob, the outgoing president. He leaves at the end of this month for the Dallas Amateur Radio Club, their president and a good friend. Bob and John and Pete, thank you guys. Seriously, mad respect for y'all. No kidding. I'll be honest with you. There's people who will come to, answer your question or whatever, but there are people who also will really help. And for example, Pete came from Portland, long drive, terrible traffic, made it here. He's a little bit late, but he made it. And he just got up there in that attic space and just worked everything out. It's brilliant. And I want to thank them all because that means an awful lot. And thanks again to Winan for what he did to help make this happen from the Portland Amateur Radio Club getting a hold of us. All right. Question of the show. Don't forget, how long would you try to work a DX station? It comes from last night. Now, if you watch the weather forecast, I always tell you about bands that'll work for you. 20 meters now should be your DX band. It really should be. I was on 20 last night for a long, long time. Let me show you a couple of elements. Now, the second one, you're going to hear a little feedback because my RF is picked up in my computer speakers, but we rectify that. First, let's take a listen and how he came in on the 7100. Just check this out. This is 20 meters after dark.
Any West Coast, any DX on the QSO? Coming back to the call, Victor Echo 7, Tango Bravo, Norway, from Mexico, Whiskey 0, Yankee Victor Kilo. Thank you once again, bye-bye. Any more West Coast, over?
Kilo 7, Hotel November, K7, Hotel November. And he couldn't hear me.
Hey, Bobby, how you doing, mate? you're 10 over, Bobby.
All right, so that is Mike Whiskey Zero and Yankee Victoria Kilo. I tried for 47 minutes. I knew because I had my phone out. I was trying to record it for you guys. Couldn't make the call on the 7100. So went over the 7610, forgot to pull the plug out from the speaker. I used 400 watts to make the call, but I forgot to pull the stupid cord out. The beginning, you're going to hear distortion in the speakers for the computer, but watch what happens after you give 400 watts into the signal.
Any West Coast, any DX on the West Coast, over?
Kilo 7 Hotel November.
Again?
Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'm pulling the speaker out.
Kilo 7 Hotel Norway, the Kilo 7 Hotel Norway again?
Roger. Kilo 7 Hotel November. It's nice to meet you, Eddie. God bless you, man. I'm glad I made the call finally.
Okay, Kilo 7, I think I got it correct. Kilo 7 Hotel Norway,
QSL, Eddie, QSL. God bless you, man. I've been trying for a half hour. I finally switched radios.
Okay then, Larry. Nice to get you out of Independence here in Oregon, Larry. And you're 5 and 8, Larry. QSL?
You're a 58 peaking to 59 here, Eddie. Great signal. Thank you very much for making my night. I mean that, buddy. Thank you so much. Mike Whiskey. How about that? Okay, so I had 2 goals when I first got my amateur radio license. That was 2 goals. One was Australia. I really wanted to work people in Australia or get at least one contact. The other one was to be able to work from, someone in Great Britain. So here he is. Eddie Howells, Mike Whiskey Zero, Yankee Victor Kilo, okay? He's in Wales. Look at all he's done. I mean, the guy, you'll see when I show you the antenna, you'll understand. It all will make sense. It will all make sense. He did all the heavy lifting because he had the great antenna. He's master of Africa, master of North America, master of South America, world radio friendship, all continents, all 50 states, master of Oceania, master of Asia, master of Europe, United States counties, grid squares, and DXCC. Unbelievable, right? Here he is. Look at this shock. Look at this. He's got a Yaesu FTDX 3000 there. And it looks like that's an old 1000 next to it. I'm not sure. A little far for me to make a for sure on that. And you see his rotator beam up there. His controller. All right. Hear a little bit about him. Talks about his being in radio since 1979. Passed his B license in 94 with his call sign of Golf Whiskey 7 Whisker Foxtrot Oscar. And then take a look at this. That's his antenna. Now that makes a big difference, right? Look at the height on that thing. It's amazing what he's got. But here's the deal. The call was made 0617 UTC. It was just after 7 a.m. London time. And by gosh, he confirmed it. He confirmed the thing. That's the very first time I had somebody from the UK actually confirm a call with me, and I was dancing, man. It was almost midnight here, and I mean, the signals were coming in from all over the world. You should try and be on 20 after dark, please. You'll be blown away at what happens. Now, to be fair, did turning on the amplifier make a big difference? Yes, it did. No question. But the fact was, doggone it, I finally got the UK, and that was one of my goals, and I finally reached it last night after all this time. Yeah. And Eddie said, he made comments to other people who were making calls. I haven't seen conditions like this on 20 for a long, long time. It's been years. So this is a great time. Really, if you want to work DX, be on 20 after dark. You'll be very, very glad that you did. All right, let's get to your comments real quick, and then we'll get into some hand bites for general licensees, try and help them license up. What do you say? All right. Andy Bronson from UK. Question of the day. I've sat calling for 2 hours before trying to get the contact I really wanted. Most of the time, I eventually get it. That's persistence. Good job, Andy. Just so you get an idea, it was 46 minutes on the 7100. It was about 4 minutes on the 7610, but the 7610 also had the amplifier hooked up, so made a big difference. Andy, thank you for your comment. Welcome to Aaron Lutz from Canada. It's good to have you. Andy New says, really looks like this may happen for you at last, Ham Radio Live, the true spirit of ham radio. I hope so. I'm overwhelmed. I know what the right thing to do is. I don't want to put, 8 holes in an 18-year-old roof. It's just, let's put the tower up and get over with. How my neighbors feel about that might be different. We'll have to wait and see. And Steve, thank you. That was a good group of guys indeed. I was really, really happy. Yeah, very, very happy. William in Jacksonville, I don't have the patience anymore to try very long to make a contact. I bet you do. I bet if it was someone real big, I bet you'd sit there and make it. And you're such a good amateur operator. You know what, William? You'd make the call. You would. I know you would. If it was if Papa 5 came calling, you would come a running, man. You would. Yeah. For those who don't know, that's North Korea. So there you go. Rodney in Holland, work at DX. Depends on the situation, but usually as long as necessary. And he's in a good spot. He is, because he's in Holland. That's a place a lot of people like to work, especially people East Coast, Midwest. They can make that call. And they love to work Holland. Yeah, good to work him. Thanks, Rodney, for that. That's good. Good stuff. Jerry Jones, 20 meters FT8 last night, was busy till 3 a.m. Eastern. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. It was blowing up last night. Spike, bless your heart. We're so grateful to have you part of the show. Always good to have you. You know that. iRadio Coach, thank you. Thank you for saying nice contact. You know what? 3 years I waited for that call. Really, I seriously did. I'd reached someone in Scotland before, right? But they never confirmed. This guy did. And what was real interesting was I went back to the radio. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited to finally get someone in the UK that I turned the radio back on, right? And I went and I put the amplifier back on. Everything was good to go, right? And I listened. He was still on. He's really loud. And I thought, I wanted to ask you, would you please confirm on QRZ? And I didn't. I couldn't do it because to me, I had already made the call. And I could, if he had an email on QRZ, which he did, I could reach him that way, but I didn't want to mess up his pileup, right? So what was really nice was I found out this morning he confirmed it. And to me, that meant the world. It did, because that's been a long time goal for me. Thanks very much for saying that. I appreciate it. I do. Adam, November Yankee 5 Echo, welcome from steamy Central Florida. Welcome to the show, mate. Good to have you. Yeah, there you go, William. I was literally dancing in the street. No kidding. Yeah, I was so happy. Ron, welcome. November 8 Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Good to see you. Thank you very much. And Spike, how long is the latest you stay up after dark? All night long. Yeah. You know, with my back pain, sometimes I just couldn't sleep, so I'd be up all night long. Last summer, I spent a lot of time up, and I'd find DX on 20 all night long. South Cook Islands, New Zealand, Australia, people that are, in Europe. And it would be like random places. Like it might be in Italy. It could be a Slovenia. It could be somebody from France or it could be, Norway, but never UK. And that one finally came. I was so happy. Gosh. Smoking Ape. My goodness gracious. This man is here. Ape, it's good to see you, buddy. A very happy Tuesday for you. I hope you're going well. Thanks for coming. It's always a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. Thank you, bud. I'd play your music, but I probably shouldn't. Eddy, Golf Delta, Alpha Delta, congratulations on the confirmed UKDX. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it, Eddy. Oh, man, I'm so happy. I woke my family up. And the only time it ever happened was when I worked Australia the first time. So I was really happy. I kind of nudged my wife, right, and said, honey, guess what happened? She's like, I just worked Great Britain. And she's like, that's nice. You worked Great Britain. You did? You really did? Oh, I know you wanted to do that for so long. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I'm really happy. That was it. And it was great because she still remembered this morning, right? It was great. I was so happy. Memory was so fun. Patty Roach, welcome, buddy. 2 Echo Zero, Tango Whiskey Delta. Nice to have you today. Thank you for being here. What a good day it is. My gosh. This Smoking Ape Hollywood. Oh, man, he's giving me little nicknames here. No. I was just so happy, dude. I was like, oh, gosh, I hope he confirms. Yeah. Will Myers, I just worked Lima Whiskey 2, Echo Delta Mike in Argentina using FT8. My first Argentina station. Having the hex on the mast is amazing. I bet it is. Congratulations. I know how much you wanted that. Charlie's here from Red Summit RF. We're going to do a segment from him in just a few moments. His call sign, November Juliet 7 Victor. Charlie, happy Tuesday, mate. Good to see you, buddy. Yep. Good group. Nice group. Aaron Lutz, I average 3.5 to 5 hours sleep at night due to my back. Can totally sympathize, Larry. Yeah, it sometimes can drive you crazy. Jeff, now imagine us old timers. Wait, excuse me. Let me just write this right. Now imagine us old timers
who had to have the physical QSL card for confirmation. I still prefer them, but QRZ and LOTW make things much quicker.
Doesn't that sound like that, man? Really does. It's like, imagine those old timers. You just get the vision, right? The guy that can't, he's doing his thing.
I can no. Back in my day, we had to ride a bicycle uphill both ways to power our amateur radios.
Yeah, and that was it, Rod. It was, that's nice, honey. Thank you. Rod and Dirk, thank you for putting the link to Discord. Appreciate it. All right, I want to give you guys some ham bites. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to take a look at what Charlie did over the weekend on his channel, because it'll help you with Field Day. We talked about Field Day last week where we went over the rules and we went over the exchanges and all that stuff. Charlie has an interesting point that I think is well worth talking about, and I love to put this segment on. We'll put that on in just a moment. First, it's Ham Bites. Ham Bites are powered by Ham Test Online, the software that knows you. Online courses for the ham radio license exams are found at www.hamtestonline.com. Money back guarantee if you do not pass the test. Now, what's cool is they have both the current technician exam, which expires on the 30th of this month, as well as a future technician exam, which starts on July the 1st. You can choose whichever one you want to start with. Then, of course, they have the general exam and the amateur extra exam right there for you. So the amateur extra and general right in your way. Today, we're going to work on 10 questions from the general license, which is license number 2. This one gives you the most privileges of all over the technician license because it gives you the high frequency bands, which is really cool. Question number 1, to help you with your general license, this is kind of fun. What portion of the 10-meter band is available for repeater use? Now, in the States, we don't have as many repeaters as you have in Europe. We just don't. But there is an allocation here in the United States for repeaters on 10. All right, the answer here is very simple. Think of the top of the 10-meter band. It's the portion above 29.5 megahertz. That's what's allocated for repeaters. So if you remember the highest number of all of these, you'll have it right, 29.5. So the portion above 29.5. And the real, I guess to kind of nail it down a little better for you, okay, the portion of the 10-meter band that's been set aside for repeaters is a portion above 29.5 from 29.5 to 29.7 megahertz, all right? And just put above 29.5 and you got it right. Next question. What kind of device is an integrated circuit operational amplifier? This is a $50 question with a $1 answer. No joke, it really is. All right. The answer here, an integrated circuit operational amplifier operates as an analog device. All right. That's how it operates. It's because it operates over a continuous range of voltage and current. And there's a hint for this. Analog devices react and operate in a continuous manner, whereas digital devices react in steps or increments. Okay? So in this case, just remember, if you get this question on your test, what kind of device is an integrated circuit operational amplifier? Just answer analog. You'll be just fine. Next question. How do you join a contact between two stations using the PACTOR protocol? Okay, you can't. That's the thing. This is really important. You can't do it. PACTOR's between a couple of stations, and it's only between a couple of stations. So the answer is the last one. Joining an existing contact is not possible. PACTOR connections are limited to 2 stations. If you answer it that way, you're going to have it right. So if you ever do have this question, and on the test, there is a 6.7% chance. So not a huge chance you'll have this on your test, but if you do, just remember it's between 2 stations already. That means you can't join the conversation on PACTOR, okay? All right, this one has also a 6.7% chance of being on your test. Question number 5, why is high input impedance desirable for a voltmeter? Okay, in this case, when you're talking about, a voltmeter, you're talking about the reason why it's desirable when you got high input impedance. And before your mind gets blown, the answer is easy. It decreases the loading on circuits being measured. Okay, think of it this way. If you have a high impedance voltmeter, it's going to make things easier on the product that you're measuring. That's the whole point. Because you've got a high impedance voltmeter, it's going to decrease the loading on circuits being measured because it has to send out a little bit of current there, but it's not going to hurt anything. It decreases things. That's a good thing. Again, why is high impedance desirable for a voltmeter? It's because it decreases the loading on circuits being measured. Question 6. Which of the following is an advantage of ceramic capacitors as compared to other types of capacitors? This one you'll get. It's easy. I promise you'll remember this, okay? Just remember it's cheap. That's it. Ceramic and cheap. Okay, they both start with C. And you'll have it right. The answer, comparatively low cost. That's all it is. That's the advantage of ceramic capacitors as compared to other types of capacitors, right? Ceramic capacitors have the advantage over other capacitors is that they provide good function at a comparatively low cost, okay? But it's an advantage over an electrolytic capacitor. An advantage of electrolytic capacitors is that they have high capacitance for a given volume, okay? So that's the two. Electrolytic gives you high capacitance for a given volume. Ceramic capacitors provide good function at comparatively low cost. You'll have it right. Just remember, ceramic and cheap. Next, what does it mean when a CW, which means Morse code, operator send KN or Kilo November at the end of a transmission? Okay? When you see a KN, or hear a, specifically, when you hear a KN, it means that that CW operator is listening only for a specific station or stations. That's what it means. So when you hear them send KN, it's that they're listening for only one station or a group of stations they're already talking to. That's the way it works. All right, question number 8. How does antenna height affect the horizontal azimuthal radiation pattern? So the azimuthal radiation pattern of a horizontal dipole HF antenna. So we're talking about height with a horizontal dipole. All right, here is where you might get surprised because we only think height is might, right? The higher it is, the better it goes. Not necessarily. If the antenna height actually is too high, it can be omnidirectional. All right, and that one is right here. If the antenna is less than a half wavelength high, the azimuthal pattern is almost omnidirectional. That's what it is. So again, look at the chance of getting this question. It's fairly high, 8.3%. But if you get this question, remember it has to do with a half wave high antenna and almost omnidirectional. You have it that way, you'll get it. All right, only a couple more questions, I think. Here we go. Next question here on the test. What is going on here? I've got two things going wrong. Here we go. What is the modulation? Oh, I know what happened. No, sorry, because I wanted to save these for the end. That's why. What's the modulation envelope of an AM signal? Okay, the modulation envelope. So we're thinking of if you could see it, for example, on a radio. Okay, so let's say you're taking a look on a radio. Let's move the camera real quick, and we'll change the source real quick. Let me go over to the 7610. All right, and let's move over. We're going to go over here. I'm not going to put this on audio, but we'll do this. All right. There's AM. That's what it looks like. AM, you see the big line in the center, right? So it's right here. Here's the center line. This is the carrier of the wave right there. That white, that kind of light blue, that's trailing down. That's the carrier. Here's the lower sideband of the signal. And over here is the upper sideband of the signal. That's what it means, okay? But in this question right here, it's asking, what is the modulation envelope for an AM signal? All right, this one might surprise you. The answer actually is it's the carrier frequency, the waveform, that created by connecting the peak values of the modulating signal. So it's the waveform created by connecting the peak values of the modulated signal. That's it. That's the modulation envelope of an AM signal. All right, now let's move to FM. Okay, what is the total bandwidth of an FM phone transmission having 5 kilohertz deviation and 3 kilohertz modulating frequency? Here's what you do. Double the numbers, okay? Remember, you're going to double because it's FM. 5 plus 5 is 10 kilohertz, right? But you have 3 kilohertz modulating frequency. right? This is FM again. You got to add it to both sides. So 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. Gives you the answer of 16, and you have the answer right. That's how you figure this answer out. So if it asks you the total bandwidth of an FM phone transmission, it gives you the deviation and the modulating frequency. Double them, the answer is the doubled of each single piece. So 5 kilohertz, right, times 2 is 10. 3 kilohertz modulating frequency times 2 is 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. You got the answer right. Pretty good. Ham Bites is sponsored by Ham Test Online. Study for your ham radio license exam right there. Money back guarantee, 100%. You get all back if you fail the test. You get it for about 6 months. You can take as many practice tests as you want. It'll help you in your weak areas. In fact, it's designed to help you in your weak areas. It really is. Find them online at Ham Test Online, a great group. Thanks to them. That's really nice for them to sponsor that. All right, my friends, only a few days. Hayden joins us from Down Under, Victor Kilo 7 Hotel from Ham Radio DX in Australia this Friday, June 24th at 2300 UTC. I know it's late in Europe, but hang in there. It'll be worth watching. We'll be talking about his YouTube channel, Ham Radio, and he'll be taking your questions as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Please join us on this Friday, the 24th, and meet Hayden. Then, coming up on July 9th at 1900 UTC, we want you to meet Carlos, Kilo Delta 9, Oscar Lima, November. He's going to talk about Parachute Mobile. Again. And he's talking about jumping out of an airplane and making calls and seeing how many he can make and how far they go. This is an amazing guy. He's a veteran for our country. He has worked to fight, and do the right things that he's been asked to do. And he's represented our country well. And what's really neat is he's found a little way to do a ham radio that not many people can do. And it's fascinating, really is. Meet Carlos, July 9th, 1900 UTC. It's 8 p.m. in London, 3 in the Eastern Time Zone in North America, and noon Pacific. Then, coming up on the Saturday show of July 16th, we have a time now that's been determined for this. I'm going to see my nephews that day, and I'm excited for that. So this is going to be at 1830 UTC. Okay, so 1830 UTC to meet Kevin Zagnani of Bioeno Power. All right, and he's going to be taking your questions about powering your stuff on the road for portable stuff this summer, and we're really looking forward to having Kevin. Thank you to Kevin and Bioeno for the show, and Kev, thanks for changing the time of the start. I appreciate that. Then on July 30th at 19 UTC, Jason Kilo Charlie 5 Hotel Whiskey Bravo, and also known as Ham Radio 2.0, will be live with us on the show. Doggone it. Have fun with him. We're going to talk about his YouTube channel. We'll be answering your questions from around the world, and join us, please. Again, that's at 8 p.m. in London, 3 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, noon Pacific. If you're in the eastern part of Australia, I know, 5 a.m., but it'll be worth it, okay? Thanks to all the guests who are coming. It's going to help you in amateur radio, so I hope you take advantage of that. Let me get a little drink of water. We'll go back to your comments. A very happy Tuesday to you. Thank you for being here today. I hope I don't miss anybody's comments. And Charlie, well, Larry,
that old man voice is spot on.
Thank you, Red. We get to be 59. That's the way it is. That's awesome. It's funny. Grant is here. Hi, Grant. Victor Kilo 3 Golf Delta Tango. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Good on you, mate. It's nice to have you. Thank you. Sincerely. Nice to meet you. My name's Larry. It's an honor to meet you. Thank you for being here today. Wow. And iRadio Coach. Well, Larry, it sounds just like me. Oh no, the old man stuff. And Dirk, thank you for the propagation map. That's really nice to have. Jeff says we have 2 10-meter repeaters I know of in Tennessee. I know of one in New York State as well. And you can definitely hear them. You can definitely hear them, I should say, and work them too. I think we're pretty caught up with all of your stuff. And Rodney, almost is the key word. Look carefully at the questions. That's for sure. William Crawford, Alpha Delta 8, India Tango. Wow. YouTube didn't send a notice that the show started. No! Talk about what's going on there. I don't get it. Mark Taylor, that's right. Think you had FTDX10. Hope your wallet's well. It's a small world after all. That's funny. That's funny. WCB 640, and this is great because he's a radio engineer. AM modulation envelope is what you see in a scope, not in a pan adapter spectrum. Yes, that's true. You're right. I did that part wrong, and after I started doing it, it was too late. I couldn't grab the words back, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, gosh. Life shows. It happens. Thanks for the correction. I appreciate it, my friend. You know that. Avery from Georgia, you went live right when I was going to go take a shower. Oh, my gosh. You should take the shower and see the show on replay. It's probably better. Yeah, and Rob, 16 kilohertz. That's it. Yep, that is it. Hey, Roger McKeon and Mahler here. Kilo Juliet 7 Lima Lima X-ray and /K9. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to have you guys here. Aaron Lutz. Oh, this is nice. I just want to thank you, Larry, and everyone here to the group motivating me. I've started really studying to move up from my honors certification to the advanced in Canada. Wow. Wow, Aaron, seriously, thank you for saying that. I mean that. Thank you. Wow, that's very kind. That really is. You'll do well. Just study hard. You'll do very well. You really will. Don't forget, we have a comment question today for all of you to join in. We'd love to hear your answer to this. How long would you try to work a DX station? For me, my record's 2 hours, but I got them. And it was fun. So hopefully y'all will have a good time with that. Please answer in the comment section below. All right. We're going to, let's take a look at something. We're going to honor somebody who's really, really special to me. And to me, he's really doggone cool too. All right. Here he is. When you get this many DXCCs,
You know you make me wanna.
you're going to talk about it. Mike 0, Bravo Juliet Lima. This is my mate Sean, Mike 0, Bravo Juliet Lima from the New Forest in Hampshire. Why is he so special? There he is. This guy is like one of the most in-demand contesters in the world. He is absolutely stunning at his contest and what he's done. 344 DXCCs confirmed. Wow. That's Sean. No kidding. He said some of these entities are underwater now. They no longer exist. Here is a look at his shack. That Yaesu 101. Look at that. That's a gorgeous little radio. He's got 2 monitors up there. You see his rotator. He's got a nice shack. Here's a view from the front. He's got a good set of cans there. And he's just got a nice clean shack. Sean, beautiful. There's his antenna. Lots of stuff. Look at that mono. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sean, I want the antenna. And I sure love the tower too. You see how he does so well. He talks about himself right here, but here's the deal, it's kind of sad. He's not doing this anymore. He's kind of like QRT, but this is, take a look at his takeoff angle from where his antenna was. There's Japan, CL's New Zealand, VK2, of course, is Australia, and VK6. Look at that. He's just got it all lined up from there. That's what he has. Here's him in the good old days with Wes, Whiskey 3, Whiskey Lima, Neville, Golf 3, November Union Golf, and that's rest in peace, of course. And Wes, Whiskey 3, Whiskey Lima. Sean operating as Mike 0 Charlie, CQ Worldwide 20 meters SSB back in 2003. First in brand new Great Britain record. He came in first. No kidding. Look at what he's done. Country record holder of CQ Worldwide contest on 20 meters, 5th in the world. First place G Station, 1st in Europe, 7th in world, 2013 CQ Worldwide SSB, low power single op entry. Then in 2012, first place G Station, 3rd in Europe, 7th in world for CQ Worldwide 2012 low power single op entry. Then first place G Station, 12th in Europe, 18th in the world. Seriously, in CQ Worldwide, 40 meters single op assisted entry. First place G Station in 2009, CQ Worldwide 160 meter low power. Second placeholder in 2011, CQ Worldwide CW 10 meters. Holds also the call sign 9 Juliet 2, Juliet Sierra. And he also is on a great expedition to Antigua, Victor 2, 6 Bravo. He's a country record holder of CQ Worldwide contest 20 meters. Look at this, 5th in the world. When I talk about Sean, I think of somebody that I'm really, really grateful that I know. Sean and I have exchanged a lot of emails together, and it's hard for me to think of him as QRT, but he still watches this channel. And if you want to think he's like legit, look at his lookups. 156,242. Sean, that is amazing stuff, mate. That's amazing. Seriously, let's give Sean a little bit of love here. It's Sean, Mike Zero Bravo Juliet Lima, carrying home the good stuff. Gosh darn man, so glad you're part of the show, Sean. And I'm really truly honored you're my friend too. You've done a lot of things I've dreamed of doing. That's the honest truth. Same thing today with Bob. Bob has 316 confirmed. That's what he has for DXCC. Sean 344. Unbelievable. I mean, these guys that do that just blow me mind. Just blow me away. And yeah, Ape, you notice it too, right? The shack is super clean. Really is. Amazing. Amazing. We have a new person coming, by the way. Going to talk to you about contesting. He's placed very high in the world too, coming in September. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Jeff says, I think I spent 3 hours trying to get that Mongolia station on FT8, but you got it. That you got it. Is that my impression of Statler and Waldorf? I'm not sure. Let's check upstairs and find out.
What's that noise?
I think that's Lewis Carroll turning over in his grave.
Of course. Maybe you're right, Andy. I don't know. That's great. That's great. All right, question number 1. It's a tie score. It keeps being a tie score every day. No. Europe took the lead. It is 75-65. 75-65. World is ahead of North America. First question. What do you call an antenna when its measured impedance has no reactance? All right. What do you call an antenna when its measured impedance has no reactance? Is it A, anti-resonant, B, resonant, C, shorted, or D, open circuit? Let me know, please. With A, B, C, or D, we'll let you know who gets it right for the country. Good luck today. Looking at an antenna with measured impedance and no reaction. There's no reactance to this thing. Think about it for a moment. Aaron Lutz, first from North America. C, shorted. No, but technically you're close. Charlie read some of our answers with D. That would be open circuit. Nope, that's not it, Chuck, not it. Andy knew with B, resonant. He got it. He got it. Wow. Another one for the world is pulling away now, 80-65. Yeah, it's resonant. It basically, when you call an antenna, when its measured impedance has no reactance to it, that means it's resonant. The antenna will be resonant. So everyone who answers with B, you will be correct. So Andy New, the Smoke and Ape, Cliff Bolts, WECB 640, and Jerry Jones, it would be broken. Excellent comment, sir.
No!
Steve with B and Dirk with D. All right, let me get you back with the second question. Here it is. Which country has jurisdiction over a U.S. ham operating aboard a ship in international waters? This is an interesting question. Let's say you had your radio on board a ship in international waters. So which country has jurisdiction over you if you're a U.S. ham operating aboard that ship? But you're in international waters, right? A, Part 97 of the FCC U.S. Rules and Regulations. B, the rules and regulations of the International Telegraphic Union. C, the World Amateur Radio Conference rules. Or D, the rules set by the flag or country that the vessel is registered in. All right. Which country has jurisdiction over U.S. ham operating aboard a ship in international waters? A, Part 97 of the FCC Rules and Regulations. B, the rules of the ITU. C, the World Amateur Radio Conference rules. Sorry. Or D, the rules set by the flag or country that the vessel is registered in. A, B, C, or D. First one in. Get some points. Good luck. Rodney. Yo, just worked Mozambique on 20 meters. Well done, buddy. That's good. DiBiase first in. DiBiase 777 with B, the rules of the ITU. No, that's not it, my friend. I'm sorry. Jeff, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta next in. He says D, the rules set by the flag or country that the vessel is registered in, and he got it right. Well done, Jeff. Helping North America get back in the game. 80-70 now. Okay. Yeah, if this question was worded just a little differently, the answer could be A. All right? If this said it was a U.S. ship, now it's A. but because it doesn't tell you what country it's from, it becomes D, the rule set by the flag or country the vessel is registered in. Let's check who else got that. Adam had D as well. So did Andy New. He had B. Jerry Jones with D. Aaron Lutz with D. Dirk in Wisconsin with D. Steve in the UK had D. William Myers making calls on that hex beam like just bacon frying, just flying away there. He has D as well. Andy Bronson with D. Charlie at Red Summit got D. William Crawford had A, and we thank y'all for being here today. Good stuff. Got a good game going on today, don't we? Don't forget today's copy question. What's been, that's right. Excuse me. Let's just review the topic question. Show. How long would you try to work a DX station? Put it in the comment section. We will make it part of today's show. All right. There's a neat segment that I watched on Sunday on Charlie's channel, Red Summit RF. It's really good. He talks about field day, and he talks about it being a contest. I agree with Charlie. It's a nice point that he made. Let's take a look at this. I'll have the link to Charlie's channel at Red Summit RF within the description section of this video. Please subscribe to his channel. He works hard to make the videos. Here it is.
And let's go ahead and get started with field day then and talk a little bit about that. First of all, let me bring up my screen here, and I think I have a little flyer that shows what is ARRL Field Day, and it's actually happening this coming weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And I just have to say a side note real quick. This is what got me involved in ham radio generally. I participated in a ARRL Field Day event at a park right over here. I was just interested in ham radio, and I went and visited, and I was hooked after that. So it's my conversion to ham radio is Field Day. But it's let's see here. It says it's pretty much one of the most popular events in the United States as far as field day as far as ham radio goes. I don't see it here. Do you remember, Dan, how many participate in the event? I can't remember.
It's over 20,000, I think.
170,000 licensed amateurs representing that many. Okay, so yeah, it's a large number though. Really, it's two different things in my mind, and maybe you guys can jump in here and tell me what you think field day is. But to me, field day is really two different things, and it accomplishes two different goals, and it has basically two different tracks. We've got ARRL open house of sorts. It's a way to promote the hobby. You get out in the field and you invite others to participate, to see what it's all about. You convert them like I was converted. You get them to see the hobby and the value of it.
Yes.
So that's one track, or one aspect of the ARRL Field Day. Another aspect is contesting. And now I had a comment in YouTube a while ago where a guy said, "Let me emphatically say, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Field day is not a contest." And I would beg to differ, because you have right here, and the objective here is there's all kinds of rules. There's a time start and a time end. Points are accumulated, and a winner is announced. If that is not a contest, I do not know what is.
Right? Is he right or what? I mean, I think that's totally logical, right? If it's not a contest, then don't have contest rules. Really? I mean, field day is supposed to be fun. And I totally agree. It's a time to showcase amateur radio. Bring your radio to the park. Bring it somewhere public where people can see you working it. That's a good thing. Only good can happen from that, especially if children come take a look. Oh my gosh, that's mesmerizing to a child. But there's also a contest element to it too, and people are really trying to work it, and they work it no differently than they would work any other contest. I agree with Charlie. What do you think? Put it in the comment section, and we'll make it part of the show. I agree with him. 110%. I agree with him. And I'll have, by the way, his video. The full thing is really good. It was from Sunday, and Red Summit RF. November, Juliet, 7 Victor, Charlie at Red Summit. One of the best people there is on YouTube. Please subscribe. He's good. He's well worth your time. Guarantee it. Same with the Smoking Ape. Great people. T.O., ham radio dude, right? Good people. Chuck, of course. Jim with Coffee and Ham Radios. Callan McCormick. Excellent videos. and you'll learn, you'll grow from their stuff. That's the main thing. You want to grow. Here I want to just give you a whole bunch of energy and encouragement to license and license up. Their channels help teach you the big stuff. I'm not as good at that, but they are. That's a good thing. All right, let's take a little quick view at our Discord page. Here it is, and it's in two pieces. Here's part of it, and here's another part of it. It's kind of fun. Here is what the rules are, and we want to make sure we keep this because we have some kids part of this, right? Just a friendly reminder, try to keep things PG-13. If you're in a smaller audience, know your group, okay? And I know I got it backwards. I just love Mungo Jerry. Whenever I hear this song, I see the Minions. Remember from the Minions, this part? This is so great. They were all in that little ball with the, in the ocean and stuff, right? They had the one Minion that looked like Isaac from Love Boat. It was just awesome. It was so well done. Anyway, Dirk, thanks for the reminder. This is very important. Thanks, mate. That's good. This one's really sweet. Look at this. This is Avery. And look what she did. She made a duck. She crocheted herself. And she says, I crocheted a duck because why not? Avery, that's beautiful. We love it. Oh my gosh, I want that duck. That would just right home here in the back of the shack, right by Larry's heart. It's a cute duck. That's awesome. Tom, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey in Bahrain. Look at this. He's got 47 degrees at 1800 in Bahrain. That is doggone hot. No kidding. So hot, in fact, he left a little cup of water. He said, this pigeon even let me pet him. He was a bit thirsty. This was at the door into my work QTH. 47 or maybe hotter here today. 47 degrees Celsius is about 118.7 degrees Fahrenheit. Final one, this is great. Don't forget, Friday Funnies are coming, only 3 days away. Please bring me your funny videos, funny photos, your memes, your cartoons that are amateur radio related. We'll share them on the show, and I really look forward to the Friday show. That's my favorite. And Tom did this one last Friday. It was my favorite one. Imagine you're traveling and opening your passport at the airport, and boom, there it is. No! Yeah. All of a sudden, your child has put a mustache on you and a beard and a hair that sticks out and all kinds of drawings of mommy, daddy, the children, and the doggy. That's awesome. So please join us and put it on our funnies page. And you'll find that, by the way, when you expand our Discord page, it starts like this. And then you go down to fun stuff, and there's funnies right at the bottom of it. Just point it there, and we'll make sure we'll put it part of the show. It's fun. That's fun. You guys, I hope you had a good show. I hope you enjoyed it. The Ham Bites tomorrow will be the Amateur Extra License Exam. It'll be powered by Ham Test Online. Good people there, and they have a money-back guarantee if you don't pass your test. Please get your license up now. It is the time to do so with the solar cycle coming up so quickly. This is a historic solar cycle. Folks, I'm telling you, it's historic. It's going up really fast. Here, let me give you a little bit of help to help you just get a little motivation for it, because I really believe this. This is very important. Here is our solar cycle right now. The purple, right? The red line was what was forecast. Okay, so if you take a close look at the top number, that is our sunspot number. Okay, that's sunspot number 96.5. That was at the end of May. Okay, it's supposed to peak right about 108. So it was 12 away, like 11 and a half away from the peak, which they expect to happen in about 2 years, maybe 2.5. Okay, the SFI has reached the maximum already about 2.5 years early as well. This is going to be a humongous solar cycle. You don't want to be left out. You want to get the highest license you can. That'll give you the most power plus the most frequencies you can get as well. Contact somebody big. If you're not already licensed, I really do. I mean this from my heart. I want to invite you to join us in amateur radio. This is the coolest doggone hobby in the world. You don't have to use a microphone. You can use a keyboard or take pictures or make an SSTV video. There's so much you can do in amateur radio, and it's just the coolest thing. And some people, especially younger people, love FT8. It's a really fun thing. You just simply set your radio station up, hook it up to your computer and your keyboard, and you literally make calls all around the world. You can find out where the stations are coming from, click on them, and your station will try and work them. Gosh, this is such a great hobby. It's so good. Please join us in amateur radio. Now is the time to do so. If you want to get your license, contact someone great like the Radio Society of Great Britain. They are amazing at helping people get their licenses worldwide. Find them online at www.rsgb.org. Please hit the Contact Us bar, let them know where you're located, and they're going to send you an email back with a local amateur radio club to you. And the best part is you contact that club, and they're going to help you to get your license, to understand amateur radio, answer your questions, and help you get on the air. Look at what happened to me. I had 2 radio clubs here today, 2 presidents from radio clubs here to help me out. That's how helpful amateur radio clubs are. Started out by getting a hold of the Radio Society of Great Britain, www.rsgb.org. Hit that Contact Us bar. Friends, we're going to roll. We're going to say goodbye until tomorrow, and I appreciate you watching the shows. Don't forget, we'll be on WRMI this Thursday. Send me your funnies on Discord, and I'll see you hopefully on the voice chat there in about 15 minutes. Until then, my name's Larry. My call sign in amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you wherever you may be, and goodbye, everybody.
This is Radio Australia, transmitting from the Melbourne studios of the Australian Broadcasting Commission.
This is the final sign-off of Radio Australia on shortwave the first time. Not the second time, but the first time.
Good evening, everyone. This is Radio Australia, the overseas service of the Australian Broadcasting Commission. We're transmitting the North America and Central Pacific service on 17.84 megacycles per second, 16.82 meters, 15.32 megacycles, 19.58 meters, and 21.74 megacycles, 13.80 meters. The time in Eastern Australia is 11:01 hours on the morning of Friday, the 11th of July, 1969. And this is Vic Kennedy, pleased to be with you once more for the next hour.
The South Australian Senator Nick Xenophon says the ABC has underestimated the impact shutting down its shortwave service will have. The broadcaster will today switch off its shortwave transmission in remote parts of northern Australia and across the Pacific. Senator Xenophon says he plans to introduce legislation next week to force the ABC to reinstate the service. He says the loss of the service will be felt far and wide.
The fact is this will affect thousands of Australians who are in remote areas, but it seems it will affect many tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of people that are regular Radio Australia listeners throughout the region.
The Northern Territory Cattlemen's Association Chief Executive Officer Tracy Hayes says many Territorians feel abandoned by the decision to switch off the shortwave service.
This sends a fairly strong signal to people that live in the bush that they are no longer the national broadcaster and that they simply have lost interest. For those of us that live and work in rural areas, and it's very difficult to draw any other conclusion.
Well, that's it, folks. After 80 years of shortwave broadcasting and 72 years at this site at Shepparton, Victoria, the Australian Broadcasting Commission now considers shortwave too old-fashioned. And if you live in a remote area now and you want to listen in, you'll just have to carry around a satellite dish.